This keyboard sparked an overwhelming $7.8 million in funding from 23,355 supporters. Despite multiple delays and manufacturing challenges along the way, it is easily the most anticipated keyboard release of the year. The 80HE is Wooting's first venture into an 80% layout, offering premium features like a zinc alloy case, 8K polling, and new switches. But is it really all that different from its predecessors? And what is the deal with this LED bar? What can I use it for? The Wooting 80HE is finally here, but the big question remains: does it live up to all the hype? This keyboard was sent to me by Wooting, but they have no creative control over my content. Everything you're about to hear are my own original thoughts and opinions. Usually Wooting products come in minimalist black packaging, but this seemed to be a less expensive plain cardboard box. Opening it up, we can understand why. For the first time, we're provided a soft shell case for one of our keyboards, showing us Wooting really cares how easily we can transport our keyboards to and from our mother's basement. Unzipping the case, we'll find a braided USB-C to USB-C cable, complete with a Type A adapter, switch and keycap puller tool, 3 spare Lecker V260 switches, and 1 Lecker V245 switch, and more on these in a moment. 7 additional keycaps, 4 M2x5 spare screws, interchangeable silicone adjustment feet, the classic Wooting postcard, and the 80HE with the zinc alloy finish. I'm honestly surprised all of this managed to fit inside of the carrying case. It's even molded to specifically fit the 80HE, but not every version gets a carrying case. The zinc alloy case is a very unique Wooting first. It has these sleek edges that envelop the entire keyboard with a smooth yet textured feel to the touch. Upon close inspection, you'll be able to find the Wooting logo, which is cleverly etched on the backside of the keyboard. Since the case is all metal, it's a hecking chonker, weighing in at 2,160 grams. So wherever you put this on your desk, it's staying. And with the addition of the hot swap silicone feet, you'll be able to change the typing profile from 2.8, 6, and 10 degrees. We get double shot PBT keycaps in an OEM profile. They're quality keycaps, albeit a bit bland. In case black keycaps weren't your thing, there is an option on the website to upgrade to white keycaps, but you'll be spending an additional $39.99. The RGB from the north-facing LEDs shines through very strongly. And speaking of RGB, these are quality LEDs. Now, sometimes manufacturers can cut corners and go for cheaper LEDs in their boards. Wooting spared no expense, and it shows. Here's a quick comparison between the 80HE's LEDs and another brand. Bonus points if you can guess who it is. The stock switches are the Lecker V2s. These are offered in the L60 or L45 versions. The main difference being that the L45s require a lighter touch, operating between 30 to 45 centinewtons of force, where the L60s operate between 40 to 60 centinewtons of force. These come pre-lubed from the factory, and they seem a bit more rigid to me than the V1 switches. You can see that there's minimal stem wobble, but holy shit, these are the tightest fitting switches into a top plate that I've ever encountered. But I found that the key move switch remover combo tool was the best for getting the switches out of the snug top plate. Link for this tool in the description if your switches are stuck and you need some help. On a whim, I decided to swap these switches out with the Gateron Magnetic Jade Gaming Switch Set. The Jades are a linear magnetic switch that operate with 34-ish centinewtons of force. And man, look at the size of that spring. Have you ever seen a bigger spring? The addition of the box top is great as well. I feel like they add a bit of stability when typing. How do you guys think this is gonna impact the sound though? Let me know down in the comments. The stabs on the PCB are screw-in, which is new to Wooting since the launch of the 60HE Plus. The stabs work fine, but I did notice for whatever reason, the spacebar stab had almost no lube on it. With everything apart, I took the opportunity to install these stabilizers I got from the Key.company before they went out of business. Rest in peace. These are C-cubed equal stabs for anybody curious. The installation was simple enough. Lube them up, assemble the stabs, and screw them in. To my knowledge, this is the first Wooting board that's gasket mounted. And let me tell you, I love gasket mounted boards. I love them. They have better sound qualities and
Doc,
much more than tray mounted boards. Usually with gasket mounts, you'll get a bit of board flex, but with the 80HE, there's almost no flex. It's very stiff. Pulling the PCB out of the case, we'll see that it's put together in the typical sandwich fashion. From top to bottom, we have a PC switch plate, silicone pad, the PCBA, PET film, which acts as a tape mod, EPDM foam, and we get some additional foam in the bottom of the zinc alloy case. I have to say, one of the coolest things about Wooting boards are all the Easter eggs you find inside of them. I love taking things apart. The PCB is filled with personal avatars of community members who were part of the early support programs, and I think it's a very creative way to honor those who have contributed. Look at it. I've never seen anybody else do this before. On the inside of the case, we'll find one last Easter egg with the names of the Wooting staff proudly listed. We'll even see Sander's name. He's who I email sometimes. Hey, Sander. What's up, man? I tried just about everything and I still couldn't remove that ping sound from the spacebar. I think it's a combination of the stiff top plate and the resonance of the zinc alloy. But what do you guys think? Which is your favorite? Argue with each other down in the comments. Another Wooting first is the LED bar. This is a new feature exclusive to the 80HE that Wooting communicated a lot in their update videos. As of writing this review, there's a few different options for customization, which is handled through the software or web UI. It can act as an indicator for brightness, caps lock, typing profiles, and read out key presses in real time. That one's my favorite. But if none of that is appealing to you, we can sync the RGB colors to the rest of the LEDs, create a custom color palette, or just disable it completely. It feels like they didn't get a chance to implement all their ideas when it shipped out, but I'm happy to say that new features are continually being added for the LED bar. Customizing this through the web UI couldn't have been any easier. The newest version is Wootility V5. V5 is a complete facelift compared to V4. One of my favorite changes is the ability to remove profiles from your onboard memory. Previously, we couldn't remove any and we were stuck having 4 profiles loaded onto the keyboard at all times. Now you can select which profiles you want to load to your onboard memory. Here's a quick tip. Make use of the full key remapping and place the profile swap key somewhere out of the way. You'll be able to cycle through your keyboard profiles via the onboard memory without being connected to any software. We can plug this into any other desktop and it will work exactly the way you set it up. And with this hotkey, you'll be able to cycle between your typing profiles and gaming profiles. Keyboard firmware updates are also incredibly easy, with a notification being sent to you whenever one's available. However, I encountered a strange issue. My 80HE wouldn't update unless I used the provided Wooting cable. I'm not sure if there's anything special about the cable, but this happened to me several times, so I just wanted to share. If anybody else has also experienced this, please leave a comment and let me know. The software also includes some great features like Rapid Trigger, which has become essential for competitive gamers. It lets you repress a key again before it fully resets, and thanks to Hall effect switches, you can custom set actuation points, perfect for making WASD a hair trigger while requiring a firmer press for other keys to prevent accidental fat fingering. There's also Snappy Tappy, or SOCD as I'll call it from here on out, which allows you to press and hold one direction on your keyboard while simultaneously pressing another. Normally this would cancel each other out, but with SOCD, the new key press overrides the other. There's also Rappy Snappy, which works similarly to SOCD, but prioritizes whichever key is pressed the furthest. And just a heads up, using either of these features is a bannable offense in CS2. So proceed with caution. We're given the option to select the polling rate, and this is the first Wooting keyboard to have 8K polling available. However, as far as latency goes, we're talking about fractions of a millisecond improvements when it comes to real-world use. Nothing that any human would ever be able to interpret. It's really cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as amazing or game-changing as it's marketed. In other words, get good. Moving on, we'll also get access to gamepad controls, dynamic keystroke, mod tap, and who could forget the complete RGB customization. This software is miles ahead of the competition. I install new keyboard software almost every other week. I have 20 keyboards now, and Wooting is the clear winner, and it isn't even close, guys. It really isn't. Another thing that's miles ahead of the competition is Wooting's warranty coverage. While most keyboard brands just offer 1 or 2 years, Wooting goes above and beyond with a 4-year warranty on the 80HE, covering workmanship and material under normal use. The LED backlight has a slightly shorter warranty though at 2 years. Wooting offers a free replacement if there's an issue. And even when you're out of the warranty, they provide parts for purchase so you can just repair the product yourself. Kudos for that. Other competitors should take note and step up their game because the Wooting warranty is truly exceptional, despite the delays. On lube spacebar, the Wooting 80HE is an impressive piece of hardware. The mod-first engineering made it easy to disassemble and tweak, which more than made up for the fact that the sound wasn't quite what I wanted. But overall, this is a premium tank of a keyboard. The Wooting 80HE truly lives up to the hype. It distinctly sets itself apart from its predecessors with a blend of innovation and thoughtful design choices. Sitting comfortably as the medium-sized option for gamers, it fits as perfect as a Lecker V2 switch and a top plate. Ultimately, the choice comes down to personal preference and size, because no matter which Wooting keyboard you opt for, you're sure to get a top-tier product. As always, I hope you learned something, and until next time, GG.